What up everybody, I'm Sam, I'm new to Axe Capital, and I'll be reviewing BIAHEZA'S dropshipping course today. And before we get into that, I just want to give a little bit of background about myself. So I'm out here in Seattle, and I've done a little bit of dropshipping in the past, as well as e-commerce in the past, and Amazon FBA as well. My background is in engineering. Lately I've been looking for new courses to jump on to learn more and expand my knowledge within e-commerce because I think it's going to be huge for 2020. I came across BIAHEZA'S course, and part of me felt like the course was going to be a little thin, but I thought I'd give it a shot and then review it for all of you guys to enjoy. So let's get started. BIAHEZA goes into the first subject by talking about how to find products to sell. He talks about certain programs that are out there that everyone can use, and that those programs are tied to Facebook ads as well as Instagram ads. And from there you can find cutting edge products that people are advertising in the moment. My critique to that is, one, he doesn't really go in depth on how to use those to get ahead of other people that are also using it. Because my experience with these types of tools, Jungle Scout's one of them, hundreds of people, thousands of people are using these. How can you get yourself ahead of those other people? And he doesn't talk about that, which I think is a huge gap, because you can find yourself getting the same products that everyone else thinks is great, and it's just going to be a big old price war. To that, he also doesn't talk about how you can use Google Shopping ads as well. He goes into a couple of examples and that he's done himself, but he's never actually proved that it's successful or not. And again, he doesn't warn people of price wars. How did those products end up long term? Next up, he goes into creating a Shopify website. He does give really good advice on where to find content for your website, like images, and how you can use them without being legally hit. But, and he talks about like how to use Shopify at a very, very basic level, but he doesn't go into like the psychology of why certain things work on a website. The fundamentals of marketing and the fundamentals of website building are completely absent within this section, and that's my biggest critique for this. He does recommend very like small things like how to have your customers track their package. I think that was amazing. He does talk about little tiny things within the website that you can tweak, like removing the Powered by Shopify at the bottom that most people miss to make your website look a little bit more professional. But he doesn't go into anything about like where to place your logo, how to create an urgency within your website. Next up, he goes into the structure of shipping. This is where my biggest critique is. He basically tells the audience that you just need to kind of stretch the truth, in essence lie to your customer about shipping times. Because when you're buying things for drop shipping from like AliExpress, for instance, there's going to be a huge wait period, and his tactic is to basically give a false time constraint on when the products will be shipped. One, you're not gonna have a customer base that will continually buy from this brand if you're just telling them one thing, that it's going to be shipped within a certain amount of time, and it ends up being longer than they expected. I don't think that's a great way to treat your customer. He talks about various apps and Shopify apps to download, which I think was a plus. He does talk about how to do bulk shipping, but doesn't talk about where to store it. What services can you use to ship those products? He doesn't talk about that. And he goes into company social media pages. He talks about methods to make your social media page look a little bit more professional. Some of the methods I think are good methods, but again, he doesn't go in depth into each topic. They're very practical things you can do in the moment, but it's a blanket statement that he's making, and it's not. It's almost like a one size does not fit all, but he's making it try to fit all. So everyone's going to have different cases. For instance, if you have a very, very niche product, you're going to have your company's social media page be very specific and tailored to those viewers. Basically, all he talks about is finding ways to get content on the web for free that are legal to do, and posting it on there to make yourself seem relevant. Talks about how to create ads. He does have some good methods when it comes to creating ads, but Again, very, very, very basic. He also doesn't talk about the cost of doing this and how it could eat into your profit margin, because you're not going to be able to get any of these methods for creating viral ads for free. Whether you get someone that has a greater following to create an ad for you, or you actually using PPC, that's going to cost money. And when you're doing tight margins with drop shipping, you really need a distinct method on how are you going to get all this handled. He does talk about methods to do it. Those are all easily Googleable, but he doesn't talk about like how to do it properly and how to strategize, which I think is extremely important. Talks about Facebook Pixel, all that stuff's pretty basic. You can find it on YouTube for free. Goes into ads again, but specifically with Facebook ads. I think personally everything he put into that section of the course is easily searchable on Google. There's actually one guy, Jordan Playton I think is his name, on YouTube, and I highly recommend watching his YouTube video on the basics of Facebook advertising. And that's it's almost like an hour-long video, and it's everything you need to know about the basics for free. So I think what BIAHEZA put in this course is extremely trivial and not something that you should be paying $300 for. He doesn't talk about that, like everything you do within drop shipping in the current day here in May 2020 is going to be a manual transaction, because you're going to get the product from AliExpress. You're going to have to input the customer's address that they want it delivered to, and then get that whole process rolling for every single customer. So it's definitely not scalable. He doesn't talk about ways to deal with that, and that's a huge problem within dropshipping. Then he goes into taxes, literally nothing within the tax section. He just says he recommends that you do it and you look it up. Again, easily Googleable, but nothing even practical in that section. He just says, hey, you should figure it out. Customer support, again, all that stuff is very, very Googleable. Overall for the course, I think it's great that he put all this stuff in one place. I think 90% of it is easily searchable online. Just literally go off of his website, and you don't even need to pay for the course. You can see his course curriculum, and you could just Google all that stuff, and you can save your time and money. So I personally don't think it's worth investing the $300, and it is a cheaper product. So if you're lazy and you don't want to go through the effort of Googling everything, maybe this is the course for you. But if you're trying to save money, because you're just starting off and you're somewhat small, I recommend just literally going to his course curriculum, which is free, on his website, and Googling every single one of those topics. That's my review. Do what you want with it, but I personally think there's other courses out there that are better. Some of it is really good content. I think there's a lot of open-ended discussions that are to be had, and I think his tips are very, very practical, but can be outdated very, very fast. I would go for something that is more fundamental based, because if you teach a man to fish, he'll be able to eat for a lifetime. And I don't think this course is going into that. So thank you again for watching. Go ahead and leave any comments below, and like this video and smash that subscribe button. I really appreciate you watching my first video. Go on Axe Capital and watch other videos as well. Thank you again.